Hello guys, welcome back to another glam date with Judith. Guys, I created this look with so much love. So if you want to see how I created this look, then you have to keep watching. So we're just going to jump right into foundation. This foundation is Maybelline Fit Me foundation in 355. No, it's not what you think. I did prep the skin. I didn't just jump into foundation. If you want to see how I prep the skin, I'm going to leave the link to the skin prep in the description box. So after foundation, I went into her skin with this Taylor Cosmetic blush. I mixed the orange and the pink to achieve the shade I'm using on her. Just blend that into her skin and make sure it sits well. Next, I'll be contouring her skin with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in 370. Apply that first with a brush, then blend that in with a beauty blender. Make sure it sets and sinks into her skin properly to avoid any harsh lines.
Wanna get caught up in this life, I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up, cash in the bag, stadium tap, baby I'm bad, baby I'm bad.
Using the Younger Beauty concealer to highlight her face, I apply that first with a brush, then blend that in with a beauty blender. Like I always said, I let my concealer get tacky a bit before blending, but for this Younger Beauty concealer, I don't leave it as long as I leave my Early Girl concealer and my Nubian Beauty, because it kind of dries out faster than the other concealer I normally use. So I just leave it for a while and blend it. And when you are leaving your concealer to get tacky, make sure you don't leave it to dry out completely, because if you leave it to dry out, it's going to be difficult for you to blend, and when you eventually try to blend it, it's going to crease your under eyes. I actually have a detailed video on how to achieve a clean under eyes. I'm just going to leave the link to the video in the description box. You don't want to miss that. That's what I'm doing here, but I explained better in the video. So when you watch the video, you understand why I use a pressed powder first and what it does to your under eyes to achieve a flawless under eye. So guys, please watch that video. I'm going to leave the link in the description box. It's something you don't want to miss. Then next, I'll be going into her skin with a setting powder. I blend her under eyes first. I mix these two setting powder, the Sacha Buttercup and the Nubian Beauty in Alabaster. Guys, try mixing your setting powders. I mean, this is a discovery, and trust me, if you do this, you are going to get stuck. Like my favorite is mixing the Sacha Buttercup and the Laura Mercier setting powder, translucent powder. Next, I'll be going into her skin with a finishing powder using my Vicabel brush to apply the powder all over her face and make sure it's well blended. I took little quantity, and now I'm intensifying her blush with a powder blush using my Vicabel brush set and contouring her nose with the same powder but a different shade from the palette. In this case, I didn't do a liquid contour on the nose. I just wanted the makeup to be very, very light. For her brows, I used the Davis brow pencil to draw her brows. Then I used my Younger Beauty concealer to define the brows, the same concealer I used to highlight under her eyes.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me, ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact, give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless.
For her eyeshadow, I used my Eye Magic cream lipstick as my base, so I just used the pink from this palette as my transition. Then I went into her eyelid with a pigmented gold eyeshadow. I just blend that into her eyelid with a synthetic brush. Then I used a brown from the palette to smudge under her eyes. Next, I'll be going into her eyes with a pigment. I used the e.l.f. pigment glue, and this pigment is from Inglot Cosmetic. And I went into her eyes also with the Beyond Beauty gel liner. Using the Zero mascara to add volume to her lashes before I apply the false lashes. Then I just use the powder brush to dust out excess fallout from her eyes, excess pigment from her eyes that fell on her face. Just dust that off and make sure her face is uniform before going into her skin with the spray. I'm using this Nuban Beauty setting spray to set her makeup and make it into one layer. I'm covering her eyes because I don't want the spray to reduce the intensity of her eyes. Then I just seal that in with my beauty sponge. Then next I'll be going into her skin with the Tahila Cosmetic highlighter. Apply that with my brush and just make sure it's well blended. Then just use the beauty sponge to seal that into the skin. For her lip, I'm using my favorite Eye Magic lip palette, the brown from the palette, to line her lip. Like, I literally use this palette for every makeup I do. I use the palette as my contour, I use it as my blush, I use it to line the lip. I also use the palette as a base. This palette is like, let me call it a multi-purpose palette for me. There's no makeup I do that I don't find a way to bring this palette into the makeup. Then using a nude from the same palette inside her lip, just blend that together.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps.
This lip actually looks very beautiful, but as a gloss girl, I have to gloss the lip. I honestly can't do without gloss. I don't know what I would do without gloss. Nothing, actually nothing. So let's just gloss the lip and move on.
Like candy canes, it makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack.
Next, I'll be using the Zero mascara to add volume to her lower lashes. To finish up her makeup, I'll be going into her skin with the Nuban Beauty Silly Spray. This is to refresh her makeup and make it look into one layer, like bring all the powdery effects together and the makeup will look like it's one layer. So guys, this is the look before we dropped her hair, and this is the look, finished look, after we dropped her hair. So guys, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoy it. Please give it a very big thumbs up if you do. Please subscribe to my channel if you're yet to. Turn on the post notification to my posts so you'll be the first to be notified when I post new videos. Bye guys, I will see you in my next one.